Today, I'll be covering applications of percents. The biggest thing for applications of percents is to translate English into math. And the main one is of means to multiply. So let's get started. 5 is means equals. What percent is what we're looking for, so I'll make that our variable x. Of means multiply 25. Since I'm multiplying by 25, I'm going to divide by 25 to solve for x. What you do to one side, you must do to the other side. Now I'm going to simplify this. 5 goes into 5 once, and 5 goes into 25 5 times. So that means x equals 1/5. But we were asked what percent, not what fraction. So to get a percent, I have to convert 1/5 to a decimal. To do that, you must divide 1 divided by 5. Well, 5 doesn't go into 1, 0, so I'm putting my decimal here. Go straight up. 5 goes into 10, though, twice. 2 times 5 is 10. Subtract, remainder of 0, so I'm done. So 0.2. But to get a percent, I have to move the decimal place once, twice. So it's 20%. So 1/5 equals 20%. So pay attention to the wording because it tells you what form they want the answer in. So now, what number, so x, because that's what I'm looking for, is, means equals, 25%. Now, when you have a percent to do operations of multiplication and division and stuff like that on it, it has to be a decimal. So 25%, to convert it to a decimal, I move it over 1, 2. So 0.25. Of means multiply, 55. So I'll do that multiplication. 55 times 0.25. Well, 5 times 5 is 25. Carry the 2. 5 times 5 is 25, plus 2 is 27. A placeholder 0. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry the 1. 2 times 5 plus 1 is 11. So 13, 7, 5. I have a total of 2 decimal places, so I need 2 decimal places. So x equals 13.75. And 13.75 is a number, so I don't have to convert it. Now, 0.5 is means equal. Now again, 20%, move the decimal place. 1, 2. So 0.20 of means multiply what number? So x. So, because I'm multiplying by 0.20, I'm going to divide by 0.20. What you do to one side, you must do to the other. Now to solve for x, I have to do that division. 0.5 divided by 0.20. Now normally you would move the decimal places too because the divisor can't be a decimal. But I notice if I only move it once, 2.0 is the same as 2, so I do get a whole number. So I only have to move it once, and it goes up. Now 2, and actually let me rewrite this over here so you see what I'm saying. 2.0 is 2. I moved it over, so I have 5 only, because 0.5 is just 5. Now, 2 goes in 5 twice, 4, once. I have to add a decimal, a 0, drop the 0. 2 goes in 10 5 times, and 5 times is 10, and then I ran out of room. But you can see how 5 times 2 is 10. When I subtract it, I get 0. So that means x equals 2.5. Again, we are looking for a number. 2.5 is a number. I don't have to convert it. Now, what percent, so that's my x, of multiply 200 is means equal 20. Since I'm multiplying by 200, I have to divide by 200. Divide by 200. Now, the 200s cancel out. Over here, I'm going to reduce. Because they both end in 0, I know 10 goes into it. 10 goes into 20 twice. 10 goes into 200 2 times. 20 times, I mean. Now I know, I'll just write that. X equals 2 over 20. Now I notice it can be reduced some more. 2 goes into 2 once, goes into 20, 10, which is 1/10. Which is 1/10, remember. So this one's easy. I'm not going to go through the division to convert it to a decimal just because 1/10 as a decimal is 0.1. Because if I read this name, this says 1/10 because that's the 10th value place. And this is 1/10. So, but again, it's asking for what percent. So I have to convert it to a percent once, twice, and add a 0. So 10%. 0.5 means equals 5%. Now again, convert it to a decimal first. 1, 2.05 of means multiply what number? So again, I'm multiplying, so I have to divide by 0.05, divide by 0.05. So I'll do this division over here. Now this time, I do have to move it all 2 spaces until I get a whole number. So 1, 2, and that is 0. 5 goes into 50 how many times? 10 times. 10 times 5 is 50. Subtract, you get 0. So x equals 10. %, so I have to convert it to a decimal first. 1, 2. So 2 of means multiply. 13.5 equals means equal what number? So 2 times 13.5. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry the 1. 2 times 3 is 6. Plus 1 is 7. 2 times 1 is 2. With 1 decimal place, which equals x. So x equals 27. 132 means equal what percent of means multiply 33. So to solve for x, I have to divide by 33 and divide by 33. Now do that long division out. 33 doesn't go into 1 or 3. So how many times does 33 go into 132? I'm going to do some rounding. I'm going to say 33 is 30 and 132 is 130. So 3 will go into 13 because basically they both end in zeros now if I'm rounding. So 3 goes into 13 about 4 times. So I'll try out 4. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 3 plus 1 is 12 plus 1, which is 13. So x equals 4. Again, that is not a percent. And I'm looking for what percent. So my decimal place is right here at a whole number. To convert it to a percent, I have to move it over 1, 2. So x equals 400%. What percent? So x of means multiply. 150 means equal 88.2. Again, divide by 150. Divide by 150. Now before I do the division, I notice they both are even. So I'm going to take a 2 out of it. Well, 2 goes into 88.2, 44.1. And 2 goes into 150 75 times. Now I'm going to do the division out. 44.1 divided by 75. 75 doesn't go into 4, 75 doesn't go into 44, decimal goes up. And again, I'm going to round it. I'm going to say, well, this is 80, this is 440. 8 goes into 44 about 5 times. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 7 is 35, plus 2 is 37. Now I have to subtract. Have to borrow, get 6. Have to borrow again, get 6. So I have to keep going out. I'm going to erase this. I didn't notice I was going to run into it. So 0. Drop the 0 down. Again, 80 into 66. 8 into 66, because I'm rounding. Oh, that would be 8 times. Well, 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 7 is 56, plus 4 is 60. Subtract, you get 60, and another 0. Now here I notice a pattern. 8 times 75 was 600. I have 600, so I'm going to do 8 again. I already know it is 600. Subtract it, get a remainder of 0. So that means x equals 0.588. Again, I'm looking for what percent. So to convert it to a percent, move it 2 places to the right. X equals 58.8%. And that is how you solve application with percents.